Picture this: a civilization so advanced that 4,500 years later, the world's best engineers are still scratching their heads, unable to figure out how they did it. A culture that built monuments so precise they align with the stars. A people who left behind walls covered in mysterious carvings that look suspiciously like light bulbs. And yet, somehow, we've lost the mummies of some of their most powerful rulers. Ancient Egypt doesn't just have secrets. It has secrets wrapped in secrets, buried under sand, sealed behind stone, and apparently laughing at every Egyptologist who gets close. Welcome to the most puzzling, unsolved mysteries of ancient Egypt. 7 of the biggest, boldest, and most brain-bending anomalies that modern scholars still cannot fully explain. Buckle up, because Egypt is not done surprising us. Mystery number 1. The engineering impossibility of the Great Pyramid. Built by the pharaoh Khufu around 2551 BCE, the Great Pyramid originally stood 481 feet tall, measured 755 feet per side, and was constructed from 91 million cubic feet of stone. That is not a building. That is a geological event that someone planned. About 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons, had to be transported to the site and lifted into place. Here's the part that keeps engineers up at night. We still don't know how they did it. In one modern experiment, 33 workers took an entire day to move a single block, just 46 meters up a 25-degree incline, managing only 275 meters by the end of the day. And that's a small block. The pyramids contain stones up to 70 tons in the king's chamber and over 100 tons in surrounding temples. We tried. We failed. The ancients didn't. But even after all those centuries, the pyramid is still hiding something. Mystery number 2. The secret rooms inside the Great Pyramid. You'd think after thousands of years of exploration, we'd know everything inside this thing. You'd be wrong. Using muon tomography and endoscopy, the Scan Pyramids project has identified several voids within the Great Pyramid. One passageway lies just beneath the pyramid's north face, about 23 feet above the main entrance, 30 feet long, 7 feet wide, tall enough to stand in. Then, there's the big one. An anomalous space known as the Scan Pyramid's Big Void showed up on muon imagery. Scientists stated, "We don't know if this big void is made by one structure or several successive structures. What we are sure about is that this big void is there, that it is impressive, and that it was not expected by any kind of theory." A massive hidden room inside the most studied structure on Earth. Nobody knows what's in it, and researchers are weighing the benefits of investigating against the fact that any attempt to reach it will permanently damage the pyramid. We know it's there. We can't open it. Egypt wins again. Mystery number 3. How old is the Great Sphinx, really? The Great Sphinx is widely believed to be around 4,500 years old, built during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE. That's the official line. But there's a geological problem. According to geologist Robert Schoch, the erosion patterns on the Sphinx are consistent with rainfall, wide undulating fissures caused by water flowing from above, not floodwater from below. The heaviest erosion appears at the top of both the Sphinx and its enclosing walls. The last time the Sahara saw that kind of rainfall was during a wet period that ended roughly 5,000 years ago. If Schoch is right, the Sphinx could be 10,000 years old or older, predating dynastic Egypt, writing, and the wheel. It would break the entire timeline of civilization. Egyptologist Zahi Hawass and archaeologist Mark Lehner counter that the erosion is due to wind and fragile limestone, and point to the complete absence of archaeological material, tools, inscriptions, settlements that would indicate a civilization capable of carving the Sphinx before 3000 BCE. So either it's 4,500 years old, or it's proof of a lost civilization nobody told us about. Casual Tuesday in Egyptology. Mystery number 4. Where is Nefertiti? Nefertiti is one of the most famous Egyptian queens in history, wife of Akhenaten, often called one of the most powerful women who ever lived. She and her husband attempted to reform Egyptian religion by introducing monotheistic worship of the sun god Aten. They shook the entire theological world of ancient Egypt, and then she vanished. Records suggest she disappeared in the final days of her life, and her tomb has never been found. Most recently, Zahi Hawass announced her remains may have been located in Luxor's Valley of the Kings, in a tomb containing 2 female mummies. But analysis could only confirm the candidate fits somewhere in the 18th dynasty royal line. She could be Nefertiti or her sister, or another wife of Akhenaten. In December 2024, Hawass said he was pretty sure Nefertiti would be found in 2025. As of mid-2026, the most powerful queen in ancient history is still missing. The desert keeps its secrets well. Mystery number 5. The Dendera reliefs, ancient light bulbs or sacred symbolism. Deep within the Dendera temple complex lie stone carvings that have sparked decades of heated debate. Dating to the Ptolemaic period, they depict elongated, bulb-like structures bearing an uncanny resemblance to modern electrical lighting, complete with what appear to be serpentine filaments connected to possible power sources. The mainstream explanation: these reliefs depict Her Sema Tawe, a creator deity representing the allegorical sunrise, a snake emerging from the underworld into the morning sky. Alternative theorists argue they represent actual ancient lighting technology. However, no archaeological or textual evidence supports the existence of electricity in ancient Egypt. Sacred religious imagery or an ancient power grid? The evidence points firmly to mythology. But for a piece of religious art, it looks really suspicious. Mystery number 6. The missing mummies of the 18th dynasty. We found Rameses the Great. We found Seti I. We found Tutankhamun in his modest tomb. But Zahi Hawass has confirmed that most tombs of the 18th dynasty remain missing, their locations unknown. Thutmose II, 4th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, brother and husband of the great Hatshepsut, has never been found. Neither has Cleopatra. Ancient texts suggest she was buried alongside Mark Antony near Alexandria. Excavations at Taposiris Magna have revealed statues, coins, and temple corridors, but the queen's mummy remains missing. We have DNA sequencing, satellite imaging, ground-penetrating radar, and muon tomography. And we still cannot find the bodies of some of the most important people who ever lived. Every discovery answers one question while raising 3 more. Mystery number 7. The erased pharaoh and the silence of the record. Akhenaten didn't just change Egypt's religion. He tried to erase thousands of years of it, shutting down temples, banning old gods, declaring one deity supreme. After his death, the next rulers tried to erase him right back. His name was chiseled off monuments. His statues were smashed. His city was abandoned and buried in sand. An entire civilization tried to pretend he never existed. They almost succeeded. And here's the detail that lingers. No ancient inscriptions from the Old Kingdom ever mention the construction of the Sphinx. In a culture that documented everything from tax records to grocery lists, that silence is deafening. Ancient Egypt built structures we still can't replicate, hid rooms inside mountains of stone discoverable only by particle physics, carved images that resemble modern technology, lost the bodies of its greatest rulers, and may have had an entire secret chapter of history we've completely missed. The pyramids stand as ultimate proof that ancient Egyptian civilization possessed knowledge, organization, and ambition far beyond what any conventional explanation can fully account for. And the sand is still covering most of it. We are, in the most literal sense, only scratching the surface. If this had you questioning everything you thought you knew about ancient history, drop a comment below with the mystery that blew your mind the most. The hidden room nobody can open. Nefertiti still missing in 2026? Those carvings that look way too much like a light bulb? Let's argue about it. And if you want more deep dives into the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, subscribe, hit the bell, and stay curious. Because history is never as settled as your textbook pretends it is.